Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this concept. Recovery from TMS/PDP, perceived danger pain, is not about the things you do. So I'll get to that in a minute. Relax your body, breathe. And I know that is something you do. So I know there's a little irony there. So relax your body. That does convey a message of safety. So I'll differentiate between things you do and some of the concepts I teach all the time. So there's a lot of people out there looking at multiple practitioners, multiple books, multiple programs, and they end up with, a 16-point checklist of things they got to do every day. I'm going to journal, I'm going to do breath work, I'm going to do meditation, I'm going to do whatever, right? Somatic tracking, limbic system, whatever, nervous system, whatever. And there's a whole bunch of practices out there and processes out there. And, I also even say, we want to live our lives. We want to convey messages of safety. And people get hung up on the doing part. Even my stuff, hey, Dan, I'm feeling my feelings. I'm living my life. I don't know why I'm not better yet. Right? Or, Dan, I'm doing everything you say, but I'm not better yet. I'm doing. So the question is, how much are you doing? How much time are you spending thinking about, focusing on, trying to fix your symptoms, trying to get them to go away? And the analogy I give is, how much time would you spend in the garage rebuilding your engine in a brand new car that's working perfectly? You wouldn't. So getting better from a mind-body condition like TMS, or as I call it, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms, is not a matter of what you do. Because if you do, your brain is going to say, what's all this work about? Why are we spending so much time on this? In one way, you're saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with me, but then you're doing all this stuff to fix yourself. And there's that contradiction between your statements and your behaviors. And so in my program, I don't recommend a whole bunch of things to do. I don't have a 15-point checklist that you got to check off every single day, because a lot of those structured, guided programs with a formal to-do list leave you believing that if I don't do this whole list every day, if I don't do it perfectly, I'm never going to get better. And I think it's also a fallacy, because some people say, hey, Dan, I'm living my life. I know what causes the symptoms and I'm living my life, so why do I still have symptoms? I'm not afraid. Okay. Do you know the cause of your symptoms? Do you truly accept that TMS, perceived danger, is the cause of your symptoms? Because it's really interesting. I will speak to a number of people a week, a bunch, through my group coaching programs. And I always pull them back to the foundation. Do you understand what creates symptoms? Yeah. Do you believe that is what's going on with you? And inevitably I'll get mostly. And through a discussion and a dialogue, we'll find out that there's a good amount of doubt, if not in whole, in part, of what's going on. And that doubt leaves open the what if something else is going on. And when you've got the what if question in your head unanswered, your brain is going to say, we got to stay cautious just in case there really is something going on. And the brain will stay up here. The symptoms will persist, because that's like saying to the fire department, hey, turn off the smoke alarm. Well, we got to check and make sure there's a fire. And you could say, I'm pretty sure there's not a fire. You can turn it off. I think there's no fire, right? They're not going to turn it off until they know there's no fire. So getting clarity, certainty on the cause of your symptoms is really important, right? Sometimes we can just know it based on understanding how this perceived danger stuff works, right? It's really pretty straightforward sometimes to figure it out. You read a Sarno book, you're like, yep, that's me. I don't need to do the assessments. I just know this is what's going on. I'm a high-stress, anxious person, type A personality, go, 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 perfectionist. I'm always anxious, always worried, health anxious. Yeah, and my symptoms go up and down depending upon how freaked out I am. Okay? Sometimes people don't need the assessments, but for people who want to know, go to isthispdp.com, take the assessments. And I recently had somebody say, I'm scoring practically 0 on everything. But yet, before I took the assessments, I was applying a lot of these concepts, and they were benefiting me. I was feeling better mentally and emotionally, and there might have been some symptom shift. Wasn't sure, but look, folks, I believe there's no downside to this work. And even if the only change you get is to stop the mental and emotional suffering because you're reframing everything and saying, you know what? When I stop the mental and emotional suffering, even with the symptoms, life is okay. Now, I'm not saying this to encourage you to accept symptoms forever, because I don't think that's necessary. That was just a comment for this particular person who has some stuff going on that doesn't 100% fit into these categories, so she's got some uncertainties. But yet, she's feeling better mentally and emotionally. I'm saying, keep going. See how far it'll take you. There's no downside to it, only benefit. And the more I do this, and the more people I interact with, and the more success stories we do. I just recorded one today. It should be out tomorrow. The more I do this stuff, the more I'm convinced that when you instruct your brain that we're okay and turn down the sirens and turn off the alarms and we're really good, I think the brain can resolve most anything. Now, I'm not going to say this is a cure for major diseases. I'm not going to say that. But for the vast majority of people and symptoms, I do believe that this approach of teaching the brain that you're actually okay, you're not damaged, you're not broken, you're not sick, and consistent messages of safety, picking yourself up, lifting yourself up, encouraging yourself, reassuring yourself calmly, almost getting to the point of indifference, like, I don't care if I have a symptom or not. Your life gets infinitely better, even if the symptoms are still present. The suffering is in how we think and the emotions we feel about the symptoms. The suffering comes from the catastrophic, oh no, this is the rest of my life. And the good news is, once you teach yourself that I don't care about the symptoms, that's when they go away. Because the more you care, the more frustrated you are, the more fear you have, the more worry you have, the more you predict a horrible future. That keeps them around. Symptoms will settle down when you do. And symptoms will go away when you no longer care that they're there, and you no longer care when they go away. They will go away. But the more you care, the more you focus on it, the more you work on it, the more stuff you do to try to fix it. And people literally spend hours a day on all of these programs, whether it be brain retraining, amygdala, brain rewiring, all these complex structured programs. A lot of them give you a lot of homework. And all that homework does is convince your brain that we must have a problem because we're doing all this stuff. It's not about what you do. It's about what you know. The fundamentals. What causes symptoms? Does it apply to me? Is there a cure and can I do it? Once you know that stuff, it's less about what you do. Because I got people who are getting better without journaling or meditation or breath work or somatic tracking. It's because they know what's going on, that they're actually okay. And their dominant thought is, I'm okay. There's really nothing wrong with me. So I don't have to focus on it, fear it, catastrophize over it. There's not a lot to do once you truly know what's going on. Teaching the brain is just throughout the course of the day, if your symptoms get your attention, you can be like, I know what that is. Don't have to be concerned. Little to no concern is going to teach your brain that you're okay. Is that a to-do list item that's going to take 15 minutes out of every morning? No. As your symptoms get your attention, you can be like, hello, I see you. Thanks, but no thanks. I know I'm good. And when you give your symptoms little to no attention, consistently, authentically, that's the key, authentically, you can't walk around stomping your feet going, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Your brain doesn't buy it. But authentically, if you can say, I know, which is why the clarity and the foundation is so important. Know what's going on, know what it applies to you. And if the assessments say it's TMS, please, 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 for your own benefit, not mine, accept that is what is going on. Accept that your brain perceiving danger is the cause, the only cause of your symptoms. Yeah, but I got a bulging disc. No, your symptoms are behaving like a brain-created perceiving danger set of symptoms. The MRI doesn't matter. The blood test doesn't matter. The whatever doesn't matter. If your symptoms behave like a mind-body condition, that's what they are, folks. It's not both. So, getting better from a mind-body condition, TMS, perceived danger pain, neuroplastic pain, whatever you want to call it, a mind-body condition. Getting better from that is not about the things you do on a daily basis. In a group coaching, somebody will say, yeah, my symptoms got really colorful today. I said, okay, and how did you respond? Well, I went to lay down. I didn't mean what behavior did you do. How did you respond mentally and emotionally? Ask yourself that question. Because everybody's like, well, I have fatigue as a symptom. So if I'm out and I'm really tired, what am I supposed to do? Okay. It's more about how you react mentally and emotionally than the physical actions you take. Should I leave the gym if I start to hurt, or should I stay at the gym? It's not about what you do. It's how you mentally and emotionally react or respond. Because if you can remain calm, symptoms that start going up can turn around and start coming down. And my success story from today, which we'll post tomorrow, she was telling me how the very first time she noticed that shift, it was going up. She said, let's stay calm. I know what's going on. She said the symptoms came back down. And she realized, aha, I have the ability to influence this with the way I respond to it. And that was a huge lesson for her. So look for the success story. Burning mouth syndrome is the core symptom that she had. Affected her tastes, saliva production, dry mouth, all that kind of stuff. 8 years, and she got better. So look for that success story. How you respond matters. Mentally and emotionally, it's like, do I freak out or do I reassure myself? That's what matters. If you're having a tough day, it's not time to go pull out your 15-point checklist for things I need to do to heal. There's nothing to heal. We're teaching the brain that we're okay, and we do it by acting as if we're actually okay. The brain will get the message. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I love you all, and as usual, we'll see you tomorrow. Actually, you'll see the success story tomorrow, as long as the editing gets done, but it should be. So I love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.